So we're with Miss Emi Sunshine. Emi, 13 years old?
That's right.
And you've been doing this how long?
Ever since I was 4 years old.
Ever since you were 4 years. How old were you the first time you were on the Opry?
I was about 9 actually. It was my first time.
And what was that like as a 9-year-old?
A little bit scary. I'd never been scared on stage before. I never had stage fright. And I guess when I walked out on the stage, all that worry and that fear just kind of pounded down on me. And I was really scared when I was walking out there looking at all those people watching me. And I guess when I walked in that circle, I just felt like I could do anything, and that all that worry and that fear just lifted off of me, and I could just be who I was meant to be, I guess.
Do you still get a little nervous when you go on stage?
I have learned that I don't really get very nervous going up on stage, only at the Opry, it seems like, or the Ryman Auditorium. I guess the only thing I really get scared of is introducing people. I've learned that it's hard to introduce people. It's easy to talk about yourself, but it's hard to talk about other people because you don't know if it's right about them or what's going on. I've learned that kind of scares me a little bit.
So, your second time here at Festy, and you're kind of one of the hosts this year.
Yep.
What's that like? And 13 years old. I mentioned to you when we were talking before the interview that I have 3 daughters, and I can't imagine any of them at 13. My oldest, when she'd get on stage for school shows when she was little, would chew a hole through her dress, literally. How did you learn to overcome that?
My family always taught me to never really be afraid of what you do, never really be scared of it, because I always grew up in it. My great-grandmother sang, and my grandmother sang, my dad sings, so I always just kind of felt natural to be in it, and I felt like I didn't really have to be nervous about it because I always had that confidence, because my family always made me feel like I could just go out there and be who I want to be, be who I was meant to be in a way, because I remember my grandmothers, in a way. I can remember them singing to me when I was smaller. From what I've heard, I used to harmonize with them when I was only around, I don't know, I guess I think when I was just a baby, they would sing to me and I would harmonize with them. And as I got older, them and my family, they always just kind of made me feel confident in who I am and what I was doing. They always did that for me. So I really just don't get scared on stage. I always just try to give it my all and just be who I am.
Now, there's a million fantastic, talented musicians out there that are playing in parking lots and campgrounds and bar rooms. What was the break? How did you make that leap from being a talented young lady to getting the break and being, not just Opry, but the status that you've gotten with your career?
I guess it kind of went crazy when I was playing at a flea market in a small town, at a flea market in Sweetwater, Tennessee. Little place that I would play because my family, some of my family kind of run that flea market and run this little shop inside of there. And they asked me to come and sing at their little music shop that they have. And I was getting so many people there every single day, and it was getting where the whole place was filled up. And I guess that one day, one of the people there, one of my fans, her name is Shauna, and she recorded me singing Blue Yodel number 6, and she put it on YouTube, and it went viral. And after that, she actually had to take it down because her phone was just going crazy. She couldn't deal with it anymore, so she took it down. But after that, the Today Show called us and wanted me to come on there and sing for them, which was really cool. And I feel like that kind of gave me a little bit of a break. It kind of got me where I could go play the Opry and go play these different places. And after the Opry, I think that after that, I just kind of kept doing it and kept doing hard work and going out there and playing these little gigs to get to the bigger gigs, getting to the Festy and getting to places that I really wanted to play.
The Today Show, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So I guess that it just kind of depends on hard work. That big leap just kind of started from hard work.
When you started out, though, when you were that young, did you view it as that hard work, or did you just view it as you loved playing music and excited at the attention? Or When did you make the mental change from it just being something fun you do to this is a career and you're going to work hard at it to be
I
successful?
think I kind of thought that when I was about 5 years old. I told my mom, my stage name is going to be Emi Sunshine, and I'm going to do this full time and be a touring musician. And then I wrote my first song, and I was going out there and I was playing these small gigs, and I was just doing what I loved. At that point, I didn't really think it was work. I still don't think it's work. I'm in the fun business. If I'm not having fun, then I'm not doing my job. It's just sort of I just think that you always just gotta keep up that hard work to get where you want to be. And I feel like along the way is just the most fun because you're getting to go out to all these places and make new fans and meet new people, because it's the most fun part of it. It's not really making it. It's just doing what you love, I have to say.
No matter how much you love something, when it's your job, that's why we call it a job. It is hard work, and you mentioned several times, you say about it, it's just fun, but you've repeatedly mentioned working hard and how hard you've worked. So what aspects do you not like? What parts of it that you have to do you not like doing?
There's just so many things I love about it. I would have to say it's kind of hard on the boys, having to drive around and go to these different places, and how hard it is to travel, I have to say. My fans have actually made it a lot easier for me now that haven't had a bus, because my fans actually got me that bus. They actually paid for that bus every month. They pay monthly dues to be on a page called the Sunshiners, and they pay monthly dues to pay for my bus. And after that, it got easier, but it's kind of hard on the boys to go out there and drive to these different places, get into places on time. It's really nerve-wracking. I'd have to say that probably the least fun part of it. Then I'd have to say, yeah.
How much do you tour now?
I think it's 150 dates a year, something like that. I love doing it though. I love getting to go out here and play these different gigs. My manager has got us doing so many things now. It's getting crazy, and I just can't wait to see where it goes after this, because I feel like he's wanting to take us different places and let us go where we want to go.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions that I bet you're tired of answering. You probably get all the time, but school and education and so forth, how do you have like a tutor or a cyber?
I'm homeschooled, so it makes it really easy for me to go around and sing and do my homework too, because my whole family kind of helps me out with all that. My mom, she does math, and my dad does history, and so on, and the rest of them do the rest. It's a family thing, and we always try to keep it that way, because family is
So just this front row here? No worries.
because family is pretty much the whole thing we stand for. It's my brother who plays mandolin for me, my dad plays bass for me, my uncle plays drums, my auntie Crystal, she goes on the road with us, and she actually does most of our merchandise, and my mom comes with me to help me with the everyday needs that I have. And we actually have a little baby who travels with us. His name is Tate, and he's my Aunt Crystal's son. And it's a whole family thing. Without them, I don't know what I would do. I can't imagine not having them with me on the road, because they're what keep me going. They're what keep me doing what I do now, because without them, I wouldn't know what I was doing.
I talked to somebody last night who said they were talking to your mother, and she was like, she even has a stylist now. Is that, you've got a stylist?
Yes, I have these awesome people. This clothing company called Magnolia Pearl. We met them, they actually got in touch with our manager. We got to meet them, and they at a small festival. It was a really cool festival. I can't remember what it was called, but I really liked it. And they told us, well, Emi, we create this clothing, and actually the person who's over and who makes all the clothes, her name is Robin, and she was telling me this. She said, you make all this beautiful music, and you create it, and you write it with your mother, and I create these clothes, and I come up with this stuff in the middle of the night when I wake up, and I just get these designs in my head, and I feel like we can make something pretty awesome together, and she started endorsing me and helping me with most of my clothing, and I feel like it's something really cool because I love the clothes and they make me feel really good on stage, so Magnolia Pearl is awesome.
Now you mentioned you write with your mother?
I do. Most of the songs that I write is with my mom. We've been writing together ever since I was 5 years old, and my mom was writing way before I was born too, because she had a good friend that she would write with all the time, and her writing always was amazing. It developed over the years, and she kind of quit for a little while after I was born, and when I started writing, she kind of picked it back up, and after that we've been writing together ever since I can remember. It's been
Talk a little bit about your songwriting process and how do songs come to you. How do you do you have, I know I've talked to some people that say they have to sit there and work at it. Other people, it's like your stylist came to them in the middle of the night.
Some songs just come to you in the middle of the night. Sometimes you dream them. My mom has dreamt a few songs that she has written with me, and I think that most of our songs just come from everyday life. We like to write about the things that people don't really want to talk about. We like to write about the people on the streets who can't pay for their house, and they live on these streets, and I like to write about the things that people just don't really want to mention. I like to write about the soldiers that didn't come home. I like to talk about the homeless, and I like to talk about the people who have lost other people, and I feel like it's something, and I love killing songs too, I have to say. So I guess I just like to write about things that I feel should be talked about more.
Has that changed as you've gotten older and more aware of things socially?
I feel like my mom and my dad hasn't hidden anything from me. They tell me what's going on in the world, and they don't hide it from me because they want me to be aware of my surroundings and be aware of the world, because that's important.
But I mean, at 5 years old, it's got to be very different at 13 than it was at 5.
I have to say it was. I didn't understand things as much as I used to. I didn't understand things when I was 5 as much as I do now. And I guess that at that age I was writing songs kind of like the Leaving Brothers, because I listened to the Leaving Brothers a lot. And I just thought, well, I could write songs like this, and I can go out there and do what they were doing. So I kind of picked up from different people. I picked up from people that I listened to when I was younger. And I guess that I was just inspired by these different artists. I have to say, I really loved a lot of Johnny Cash and June Carter, Buddy Miller and Julie Miller. I listened to a lot of Jason Isbell now, because I love Jason Isbell. And then, just some other amazing songwriters that I kind of learned from the Living Brothers and different people. And I was always drawn to the more dark and depressing songs. I was always drawn to the things that I thought mattered in the world, mattered more than others, and I would listen to these things, and they really make you feel something. They give you chills, and they give you this turnaround in the song, and this whole twist on the whole entire process, and I feel like it's a really cool thing. And when I was that age, I was always writing. I was always going out there and doing that, and then I had to go to school then, but that didn't last long. I was homeschooled pretty much before halfway through kindergarten, so I've been homeschooled pretty much all my life. So I guess that my maturity kind of was enhanced more than other children, because I was mostly around adults my life, because I just never really was like other kids. I always was more mature and a little bit more advanced, and I guess that my writing was the same way. So I guess being 5 years old and writing a bunch of different songs, and writing things that are a little bit different for a 5-year-old to write. I guess that it was just kind of, it wasn't as different as it is now, because my family always wanted me to be the best that I could be and to be who I wanted to be and what I wanted to be. So I guess that they let me write these dark and depressing songs. They let me write these things that I wanted to write because they weren't going to hold me back.
And I said about the questions that you probably get tired of answering. What's it like at home, friends and so forth? Is it, is there and I guess it seems strange to talk to a young lady and say maybe a little before your time, but is there any Hannah Montana to your tale? And I'm not talking about Miley at her age now, but in the old TV show, trying to have that dual life of being the performer and.
I think I used to watch that a little bit, and I would listen to anything or watch anything that had any kind of music in it because I was always drawn to music. So I would listen to that and I would watch that for a little while, but after a while I got sick of it and I just stopped watching. But I guess friends, I had this one really amazing friend. I always want my real friends. And I had this one really awesome friend. Her name was Kayla. Her name is Kayla, and she's my best friend. We travel everywhere together. She travels with me sometimes when in the summer times because she's still in school. And I have her, and I have a few other friends. Traveling along the way, you make new ones and you lose some. That's the sad part about it, because like I would go to Canada and I would stop at these campgrounds and I'd make these new friends, and then you'd have to leave and you wouldn't be back till next year. And who knows if they're going to be there again, and you keep up on Facebook and you keep up on these different things, but it's a really sad thing because you're going to be this place for like 2 days and you make these friends and then you're gone, So
Taylor's kind of an anchor for you then.
I love having my friends around, but I also love getting to go on the road and getting to do what I love too. So it's kind of a hard thing sometimes. It's hard getting to balance that and getting to be there for your friends and family, because we're not there for the families who have who passed on, or some family members that their funerals are soon, and we're not there for weddings or funerals or anything, or for birthdays for my best friend, and they totally understand that, but it still gets kind of sad sometimes because you can't be there. But at the same time, you love what you're doing and you love getting to go out there. My Uncle Bobby, we weren't even there when the little boy who travels with us on the bus was born. We were out doing a show while Bobby and Crystal were there having the baby, and these crazy things happen, but it always just kind of turns around to music in a way. It always just comes back to music.
Now, keeping with that Hannah Montana theme, you're kind of at that stage now where you're going to be transitioning from being the Childstar, becoming an adult. And how do you have that all planned out? How do you handle that? How do you
I'm just going to let God handle it. I'm going to let God take me where He wants me to be. If I'm not a star, then that's okay. If I'm going to keep playing Market Square in Knoxville, Tennessee my whole life, I'm okay with that too, because I don't care about that. All I care about is going out there and being who I want to be, and being what God wants me to be, because I'm just going to let God take over my life and just be who I'm supposed to be in a way. I don't want to take control of that, because I know if I do, I'm not going to be how I need to be, and so I'm just going to let God take the course and take me on His path, because that's the right thing to do.
Fans who haven't seen you, and this is for a story for the British Brewgrass News, so I don't know, have you toured internationally at all?
No, I don't think so. I think we went to, I've been to France, that's all,
So fans or folks, music fans who have not seen you or have not heard you, describe your music. Tell them what they would see if they come see Emi Sunshine. Why they ought to come see you.
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot of different kinds of music from me. I listen to so many different kinds of music, so you're going to hear a lot of bluegrass, you're going to hear a lot of country, you're going to hear a lot of Americana, and you're going to hear a lot of blues, because I guess that's just a bunch of different genres that are part of me. And in my writing, you're going to hear a lot of killing songs. You're going to hear a lot of, probably not going to hear a lot of love stories, that's for sure. But you're going to hear a lot of sad songs. You're going to hear a lot of things that you wouldn't expect, and you're gonna expect a good time, and you're gonna expect a lot of laughs, because my band is hilarious, and we always try to keep it very entertaining on stage. So you can expect a lot of old-time music turned upside down, because that's exactly what we are.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.